Hey, it's Tom. You're checking out the Booger Reading Moron channel, the YouTube presence of TomAroundTheWorld.com. We're at the Palace Theater in Syracuse in the middle of the vicious winter storm Vulcan, a nasty blizzard hitting the East Coast. It's not going to stop rock and roll, it's not going to stop Queensrÿche, and it's not going to stop us. Nothing stops us. Come on, guys, let's go inside. Hey, you're checking out TomAroundTheWorld.com. We're sitting here with the one, the only Jeff Tate from Queensrÿche. How you doing today, Jeff?
Doing great.
Thanks for taking the time to sit down with us. Now you guys are out on this tour. It's the 25th anniversary of Operation Mindcrime. Now it's been ranked one of the top concept albums of all time, right up there with like The Wall, Quadrophenia, and Joe's Garage. How does it feel to have an album of that kind of quality that's lasting?
Well, it's great. It's very flattering and humbling to know that people love your work.
All right. Now, did any of those albums serve as any kind of inspiration for Operation Mindcrime at all?
Yeah, of course. You know, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, which was an incredibly creative period for rock music. And, you know, Yes is Close to the Edge, Genesis Slam Lies Down on Broadway, Dark Side of the Moon. These were albums that greatly affected me and inspired me to come up with the Operation Mindcrime story.
Cool. Now, so how did it all come together for Operation Mindcrime? I'm going to read it this way. Jeff Kareem from Syracuse wants to know, there are songs that are social commentary on both Mindcrime and Empire that have turned out to be eerily accurate visions of our future. What influenced you and what influences were you absorbing that helped you develop such an insight and awareness of the systems governing our country?
Great question. Oh, right. That's great. Well, you know, I've always been a reader. You know, I read several newspapers every day, keep up with current events. When I was in school, political science and anthropology were really interesting to me. So I just took my love for current events and kind of the social sciences and brought them into my art, you know. And it doesn't take a lot of thought to really look at what's going on around you to be able to comment on what you think will be the outcome, you know. So really, that's kind of what I did, you know.
Right.
Mindcrime, for example, is really an album about relationships. The relationship between Mary and Nikki being the primary relationship, but it's set in a very turbulent time of revolution and change. That's kind of the backdrop to the story. It puts people in a tension situation, you know. So I find that to be interesting, and so I just adapted all those interests into what I do.
Okay. Now it's held up incredibly well over time. Did you expect that 25 years later, you'd still be performing it?
No, I never think past tomorrow, really.
Yeah,
so it's a wonderful feeling to know that people love what you do and still find what you do interesting.
I've seen you guys so many times. I saw you way back in like '87, '88, opening for Ozzy. Seen you on the Mindcrime tour. I saw you on Empire, and we're here to see you today. And really psyched about this and see it all. Now you guys are going to play the entire album.
We are.
Now, are you going to take a break between it, then come back out and do other stuff? Or are you going to just go from finish and then go right into everything else?
Well, we typically like to take a little bit of a breather after Mindcrime, just to kind of let it sit with people.
Right.
And if the audience wants us to come back out, we will. I never like to presume that it's
We're going to want you to come back out. Trust me.
I never like to presume that it's an automatic encore, you know. I think it's important that people let you know how they feel about the performance, you know, and they do that through their enthusiasm and applause.
Right. Now, we've talked about the past, so let's move up into the future here, back to the present day. The latest album from Queensrÿche was Frequency Unknown. You worked with a lot of guests, including KK Downing, Chris Poland of Megadeth, Brad Gillis of Night Ranger, among others. What was it like working with them?
It was fantastic, yeah. I tell you what really got me about making the record was that I like collaboration with people, and so me and my group of writers that wrote the songs for the album, when we finished writing them, we were interested in having some guest players come in and fill up some of the guitar solo sections and that kind of thing. but in those conversations, it led to more guest people coming in. We ended up having several different drummers playing on it, and some guest bass players and guitar players. And I don't think there were any singers on it, actually. I think I just did all the vocals.
But you got a voice like yours, man.
Oh, but I like working with other singers too.
I hear you.
But it was really fun because you write a song to a certain point, and then you give it to somebody else and say, what do you think you could do with this? And they hear it in a different way, and they add their perspective to it.
Same thing happens with my bass player. I write something, I give it to him, and all of a sudden he hands it back to me, and it's like, wow, I never even thought of that.
Yeah. And that's great because that just, pushes the song to a different level. And I really like that aspect of it. And working with these wonderful players, it was great. Absolutely invaluable situation. I'd love to do it again.
Cool. Now, this is going to be kind of a bad point. Has been any resolution over the legal battle over the Queensrÿche name?
Well, I can't talk about it very much. I can say that we are very close to a settlement.
Okay.
So I would imagine by
because I know it would probably cause some kind of confusion between people going wanting to see you and wanting to see some of the other guys. And I know there's another band, Black Flag, is out there right now. They have a big fight over their name, and they've got one version of Black Flag and then one version just Flag. And you go see one, and you're kind of let down terribly. But then you go see the other one, and you're like, yes, and I know I'm in the yes thing tonight. So.
Great.
Now, has the new lineup with the band you have now, incredible talent, how has that changed the creative dynamic?
Well, it has no other way to affect the creative dynamic. You put these different people together, and you're going to have a different outcome on anything you do.
And you've got some amazing players playing with you.
Oh, yeah,
like an all-star lineup.
It is. It's a great bunch of people, and they're all incredibly talented musicians. And that's one thing that's very important. But it's also important how everybody gels and how you get along. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's incredibly important. You're packed on a bus, and like today we're in the snowstorm, And,
welcome to Syracuse.
Yeah, that's part of the joys of touring.
Right.
But you get some people that are in these kind of situations, and they just can't deal with it. They just come unglued, right? And that puts tension and pressure on the whole organization. So it's important to have people that are cool you can hang out with and enjoy your life, because this is the life. This is your life. It's going by. It doesn't do you any good to focus on anything other than that, I think.
And every single one of the guys you've got is an experienced road warrior. I mean, these guys have been around the world and back, and so it's got to be kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, everybody just looks at the snowstorm, for example, today and goes, okay, we're here.
Now, since the split with the other original members of Queensrÿche, has there been any sort of fan backlash?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
I think it's disappointing for people that have followed the band and really love the band to go through what has been happening the last couple of years with the split. And I'm really apologetic about that. I think it's terrible that it went the way it did in the press, and there were so many negative things that were said. I just hope that this whole thing can be settled in a way that's civil, and we can all go our separate ways and be happy.
I think we're all hoping for that, for the best. And, now, what does the future hold for Queensrÿche? Have you got new stuff going to be coming out anytime soon? You're working on new material?
I can't talk about it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I can tell you that I'm very excited about beginning work on something new.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I don't want to get anybody in trouble or nothing. No lawyers involved.
Get a knock on the door.
Hey,
what do you know?
No. All right. Now, I know you got to get ready to stuff here. You guys are going to eat dinner and stuff here in a little bit. Any final words you want to throw in here? Say to the fans or anything before we wrap up?
Thanks for listening to Queensrÿche music all these years, and thanks for coming out to the shows, and we hope to see you soon at another one.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much for taking the time with us today.
My pleasure.
And you guys stick around. We're going to have Jeff sign a couple copies of these, and those of you who have submitted questions are going to get a copy, and a couple of you guys can win a couple. And stick around for a little bit of live footage from tonight's show. Peace.
People have made love to this song. People have created babies with this song. People have buried their dead with this song. But one of the greatest stories I ever heard about this was, I was talking to a gentleman backstage and he was telling me about how this particular song moved him in such a way that it got him through his life. And he was at the very edge, I mean, walking that razor's edge where he didn't think he was going to live. But this song got him through. And I was sitting there in tears listening to it. This incredible story, you know? But the problem was, I didn't hear what the song was that he was talking about. So after he finished this very heart-wrenching story, I said, brother, that's a beautiful story, man. You got me in tears. You got a Kleenex? And by the way, what was the name of that song you were talking about? And he said, oh, it's the greatest song in the world. Silence in Tennessee. Hush down, don't you cry. Wipe away